I don't recommend it. Welcome to The Door. I'm Daniel, and I'm just real happy to be back with you guys. So this is gonna be real similar to the wall, because doors kind of are walls, right? What? Basically, I'm just seeing so many cool door designs out there and just so few resources for DIYers to be able to pull it off themselves. So I'm excited to try a few designs, starting with the only door I know that has its own Instagram account. That Pink Door. It's a famous one in Palm Springs, but I've got a couple ideas on how we can get a similar design ourselves. And then your door can be famous.
Don't chase fame.
I've also got a couple variations of the design that I want to try, so we got some work to do. You guys up for it? Cool. All right, we are gonna start by heading to, you guessed it, Lowe's. I got a friend there who's a door expert that I'd like to talk through the design with, so sound good? Let's go. All right, so I'm on my way to Lowe's. I'm thinking through this project, the paint color. I'm normally pretty confident with paint colors, but pink is a whole nother story. I think I might try to call in some reinforcements on this one. Let me see.
Hello, this is Monica.
I can't believe that worked. Monica, hey, it's Daniel from Lowe's. How are you?
Hey, Daniel, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I got a quick favor to ask of you. You know that pink door, right?
Pink door. Oh, you mean that pink door? Yeah, of course I know it.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of trying to recreate that design, and a big part of it is getting the right color. I'm a little nervous picking pinks, and I was thinking since you're kind of a color superstar.
Okay, off the top of my head, I have no clue what color it is, but I can totally do some research and find out for you. Cool if I give you a call back?
You're the best. I love your show.
Thanks, Daniel. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya. Cool. We'll see what she comes up with. All right, we're here. Store 489. Represent. I really love this store. Pretty poinsettias. Oh, look at this. Little baby craftsman tools. Oh, my boys would love these. So that reminds me, if you haven't heard, Lowe's is now the home of Craftsman tools. So, super exciting, and I'm actually gonna be trying some of those new tools out in this series, so we'll see how they do. All right, let's see if we can find my buddy. Okay, there he is. All right, so his name is Martin, and he's a total pro. I've worked with him before, he's awesome. So I'm gonna give him a call, and we'll see how unshakable he really is.
So I'm looking for some tiny windows. I'd heard you guys got some in stock that are pretty small.
We should have them, and when you're saying tiny, I mean they're probably maybe 2 foot by 2 foot.
Well, I'm looking more in the like 6-inch by 6-inch range. Do you got anything?
Oh, 6-inch by 6? No, not that small at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin.
You're welcome, sir.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I'm looking for some tiny windows. You guys got
6-inch by 6-inch? Is that you?
That's I had to test you, man. So this is why I love Martin. Didn't drop his character.
Oh, that's my phone.
How you doing, man?
Okay, down to business. I kicked things off by showing Martin what I was trying to recreate.
That's a unique looking door, but that's gorgeous.
Yeah, kind of pink.
Once he saw the design, he had a couple great tips. First, he recommended going with a flat metal door. They're really inexpensive, and I think it'll make for a perfect blank canvas. We'll just need to leave a buffer zone along the edges to avoid throwing off the door jamb.
And we frame it in just inside the door jambs. That would allow the door to come up to that door stop and still have the look that you're after.
Martin also suggested using PVC trim versus wood.
PVC, because it's rot resistant, is going to give you more longevity. It is going to be a paintable item.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
as long as you wind up going with something in the paint department that's made for PVC and a color, you're going to be perfect to match that paint.
And to accentuate the design, we decided on an oversized 8-foot door. Okay, so obviously a special order door.
Yes.
What should I expect to
timing-wise?
So timing-wise, it's going to vary by manufacturer. The good news is as we build the door together, it's going to give us details on what that would look like. The great thing is if it comes in earlier.
Yeah. What? Look at this. Martin, you magical man. I think this is going to be perfect. It's huge, man. Look at this thing.
There it is. Beautiful beast. Now imagine that in pink.
I know, right?
Should be good to go.
Sweet, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to do some shopping.
Very good.
I'll let you know if I need you. All right, first things first, the trim. Here's that PVC stuff. So let's see what we got. Yes, here you go. That'd be that in-between trim. It's going to go in between the squares. That'll work. So then the squares themselves, 1x6. I think that'll work. All right, so I need a really good adhesive to hold to that PVC. So I've used this Loctite Ultimate Power Grab stuff before when I did that wood slice mosaic wall, and was really happy with it, especially the instant grab. You don't have to hold it in place for very long. So it's interior, exterior, it says all conditions, all weather, all materials. I think we're covered. All right, now we just need to find that color. Perfect timing. Hey, hey.
Hey, I had to sift through a ton of photos of that door, but I think I got the pink figured out.
I was just starting to look at paint colors. What you got?
Take a look at Valspar's Pink Odyssey. It's code 1001-2B.
Okay.
It's got that bubblegum brightness, but still keeps that smooth, like mid-century modern vibe.
1001, 2. Here we go. Oh, yes. Yes, that's it.
Yeah?
Yep, that's perfect. Monica, thank you so much.
No problemo. Good luck.
Hey, before you go too, I have to ask, when are we gonna see more of you on the channel? Hello? Monica? Guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, Mark.
No.
Don't judge me, but I need to paint a front door this pink color. What do you recommend?
Not this color? No, sorry. Cut, edit.
All right, Mark recommended Valspar's Duramax paint to make sure it lasts a long time outside. All right, here we go.
We're good.
How's it look?
Pink Odyssey.
Yeah?
Thing of beauty.
It looks pink. I appreciate it, man.
All right, so last thing I need is a lock set. So I like this one from Quickset. It's kind of matching that blocky style, and it's silver, just like the original.
All right, I think that's everything. Time to load up and head home.
So, we got our supplies. Now's the fun part. We get to actually create the designs.
So the basic plan is to start with the outer frame, add columns and small horizontal pieces to create the grid, then add the raised squares at the end. First things first, you want to trace around the door jamb and the lock set so we know where we can't add trim. Once it's marked, we can remove the pre-hung frame.
All right, so we got our blank canvas. Now it's time to map out our design on this thing. I think the easiest way, at least for me, is going to be to actually cut some of the trim pieces so that I can arrange them on there and get my spacing just how I want it. So to make those cuts, I'm going to try a tool that I've been wanting to try for a long time. This miter saw. So this is no ordinary miter saw. This one actually runs off of batteries. The same battery that runs this Craftsman V20 power tool runs this saw as well. Pretty cool, and gives you a ton of flexibility to be able to make cuts here, out here, out here, or even up here. Although, I don't really recommend it. The world is your shop.
Okay, we need to make some repetitive cuts, so this is where a stop block really comes in handy. I'm also going to sand down all my cut edges just a bit with a fine grit sandpaper. The actual width of the PVC planks is 5.5 inches, so that's how large our squares will be. So after laying out some of the trim pieces, I'm going with an 8-inch by 8-inch grid. That'll fit the 5.5-inch squares nicely and will keep me out of the buffer zone on the edges.
All right, so we're ready to start gluing some trim. I'm gonna start with this 32-inch kind of cap piece up at the top, and then hopefully figure out my spacing and build the design from there. So let's try this power grab stuff. We don't want it to be very thick on these trim pieces because we want it to lay flush against the door.
Getting this frame right is foundational, so use a tape measure, speed square, straight line, or whatever else you need to make sure everything lines up just right. For any cutout areas, I decided to lay the trim first and then carefully cut away the gaps later with a fine-tooth saw.
Alright, so we got our columns set in place. I think the next step I want to do is completing the grid using these little in-between pieces. So I'm going to need a lot of these little pieces, but if I did my measurements right, they should all be the same size. So we can just put a stop block on the saw and make a ton of cuts quickly.
Again, good measurement is key here, and repetition is your friend. Just take your time and do it right. Alright, so I think we're ready to start gluing these squares. I'm gonna go with the tried and true 4-step method of dollop, smush, wiggle, and calibrate. It really is just about as simple as sticking them on there and making sure they're aligned. And this is where it really starts to get gratifying.
Check it out! Really excited with how this is coming together. Can't wait to get paint on there, it's always my favorite part. But before you do, you need to make sure your adhesive is fully set. So this Power Grab stuff has a full cure time of 24 hours. So, let's get painting.
So because there's so much texture to this door, I'm going to use an airless paint sprayer. And I'm going to start with a coat of this bonding primer. It's meant to seal glossy surfaces, so I want to make sure that PVC really holds paint later.
All right, we're gonna do this right, baby. Come on.
Whew, well, that was easy. So it looks pretty awesome. I'm kind of tempted to leave it as is. White looks pretty good with this design. But we're gonna press on to the pink. It's part of the project, and I can't wait to see what it looks like.
All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, that is pink. All right.
Monica, I hope you know what you're doing.
Guys, we're done. And let me tell you, this thing puts out some serious summertime vibes. Those warm, sunny, summertime vibes. Okay, we're done. Ta-da! What do you guys think? So I think it's actually really fitting that we did this in cold weather, because the whole point of this project was to bring this warm West Coast style wherever you are. So I'm pretty happy with how it came together, and I really believe that this style could work on a lot of different types of houses. So if you do this project and you want to learn how to actually install the door, we have a great video already on how to install a pre-hung exterior door. Go check it out. Tony will show you how to do it right. So I hope this was fun to watch. If it's not this design you want to try, my hope is that at least your mind is open to some new possibilities when it comes to doors. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this project. And then make sure you're subscribed to the Lowe's channel, because I've got a lot more ideas for some cool door hacks, and I don't want you to miss them. All right, I need some hot cocoa.